Good morning, family. This is White Raptor News Ministries. All praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit of Truth, the Living One, the omnipotent force that moves all things in present. He is the Almighty, the all you can see, the all you cannot see, the visible and invisible, the perpetual force that moves all things in place. There is none like him. The Spirit is just that. Spirit on the other side of this veil. I'm really buffering all the time about Christians not being able to recognize what this Bible is saying. It's not that they don't understand what the Bible's saying. It's just when I engage Christians about the information that I've learned through insight and wisdom, and I share this content with them and stuff, they just refuse to hear it, especially my family. They all believe that politics is real. They believe that mankind can save them. And every time I try to talk with somebody in my family, it just annoys me. You know, it makes me even more angry. But, you know, it is what it is. The Bible tells us plainly that only a remnant are going to understand. 2/3 of God's chosen children are going to fry from lack of knowledge. So you got to understand that you have a lot of Israelites out there that are teaching the Bible and they don't have a clue what it is that they're teaching. And that's the truth. 2/3 are going to die. That means that 2 out of 3 priests that are teaching, 2 of them are teaching you the wrong doctrine. All right? Yeshua or Emmanuel was a man that was approved by God. All right? And then I always have to ask, well, Yeshua was sent by a God. Now, was this a loving God that he would allow his son to come to this plane of existence? Did this God really send his son to allow him to be beat down for our own transgressions? I say absolutely not. I say that we are accountable, each of us, for our own sins. And you need to get on board with that. You want to repent, you go directly to the Creator. I love all people that serve the Spirit of truth, but those that aren't, you know, I try to make a connection with them, but they just refuse to hear. So today we're at 1 Samuel chapter 15. The Lord rejects Saul as king. Samuel said to Saul, I am the one the Lord sent to anoint you king over his people Israel. So listen now to the message from the Lord. This is what the Lord Almighty says. I will punish the Amalekites for what they did to Israel when they waylaid them as they came up from Egypt. Now go and attack the Amalekites and totally destroy all that belong to them. Do not spare them. Put them to death, men and women, children and infants, cattle and sheep, camels and donkeys. That sounds pretty extreme, doesn't it? So you have a God that's telling you off of the ark that you shall not spill another man's blood. But as I've read in this context, that the God of Israel says that Israel is not to destroy another Israelite. But it's okay to destroy the Gentile nations. Now I see a battle, an eternal battle that's been taking place between Israel and the Gentile nations. And the Bible, as I've learned it, those that are created on the 6th day of creation are not of God, not of Israel's God. There are 2 different gods, all right? And there's one God, supreme, that created both good and evil. It's a hard concept to understand, folks. You have to swallow the pill, all right? Now, Yahweh, God of Israel, as I've showed many times, is 666. As well as Christos. Christos comes from Greek right here. Christos comes from Greek, which is Christ. Christ is 666. Jesus is the beginning. What is the beginning? It's the start. The start is 666. The beginning is made up of time. What is time made up of? 60 seconds, 60 minutes, 24 hours in a day. 2 + 4 is 6. That is 666. Jesus is the end. Jesus is the firstborn. And he is the last supper. So we have on this plane of an existence an eternal war that has been taking place between Israel and the Gentile. Now, Gentile being Egypt, Babylon, America, Britain, the Gentile nations, jinn, that are tiled in flesh. They're showing you in Hollywood that aliens, you guys want to laugh at my lessons and stuff. No, you don't laugh, you run. You run like scared little rabbits, man. Giant aliens. Giant aliens are 666. The aliens are those that were created on the 6th day of creation. Genesis 1:25, 26, and 27 has everything to do with the 6th day of creation. The beasts were created on the 6th day. You have the 6th day, and then there was a man, a God that created himself. Us, Jesus said that we are gods. So we are the ones that are a vain image of ourselves. I know it's a difficult concept to realize that from the moment you are a seed in your mother's womb, that you are building your flesh suit around you. You are trapping yourself in the flesh. So this eternal war that exists on this plane of existence is one God is going to make slaves of one nation, and then the slavery has been going back and forth for who knows how many years. So according to the Bible, it's going to be Israel's turn, and that the Gentile nations will be enslaved to Israel, and those that are of Gentile will be saved through Israel, as it tells us in Genesis chapter 12, verse 3, Bible Hub. Now, this is the God of Israel, and he's saying, I will make you a great nation, Israel. Okay, this isn't the Gentile nations, this is the nation of Israel. And I will bless you. I will make your name great, so that you will be a blessing. I will bless those Gentile who bless you, and I will curse those Gentile who curse you, Israel. And all the families of the earth will be blessed through you. But the Supreme Creator is telling us that we need to go straight to Him. So in this case, could Israel, the spiritual man, those that are serving the Spirit, be of God? The prophets of the Old Testament, each one that takes over. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Daniel, Samuel, all of them, Moses, all of them have been kings and ruled, right? Could they be as the Spirit? I mean, they're talking with somebody. Hey, I'm just like everybody else when it comes to reading this Bible. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to understand it. There's a lot of information that I have learned that I know that I'm absolutely correct on because it's come from the Spirit. But there's still so many questions that leave me, in discord. It leaves me in disarray about this perpetual war that continues to exist. So those Gentile that are serving the God are going to be slaves and servants to Israel. That doesn't sound right to me as well. I wouldn't have a problem with it if it was continually Israel that had always been slaves, but that's not the case. The Gentiles were once slaves to Israel as well, and this perpetual war is going back and forth between Israel and the Gentile. Now, if the Gentile were used as a whipping belt for Israel, and that's what they were created for, was to set Israel in alignment to bring them back to the Spirit of God, then why would Gentile be destroyed? Because they were used. You understand? There's something that is used of the Supreme Creator. And the Supreme Creator is plainly telling us, 2 Peter 2:12 Bible Hub, that these men are like irrational animals. Okay? Right here in the King James, but these as natural, the natural is the flesh. It's supernatural. As natural, brute, beast. The very first time that beast is used in the Bible is Genesis 1:25, on the 6th day, made to be taken and destroyed. So there were nations that were made to be taken and destroyed. They speak evil of things that they do not understand not, and that is God, supreme, the Spirit of truth, because they're liars, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption. I didn't write the text, folks. I just learned it. It was put on me. I listened to the message. So Saul summoned the men and mustered them at Talium, 200,000 foot soldiers and 10,000 from Judah. Saul went to the city of Amalek and set an ambush in the ravines. Then he said to the Kenites, "Go away, leave the Amalekites, so that I do not destroy you along with them. For ye showed kindness to all the Israelites when they came up out of Egypt." So the Kenites moved away from the Amalekites. Then Saul attacked the Amalekites all the way from Havilah to Shur, near the eastern border of Egypt. He took Agag, king of the Amalekites, alive, and all his people he totally destroyed with the sword. But Saul the enemy spared Agag and the best of the sheep and cattle, the fat calves and lambs, everything that was good. Hold on, he was just given a command to kill everything, and here he is, he's not following through with what the Lord says. These were the unwilling to destroy completely, but everything that was despised and weak and was totally destroyed. That's like destroying a weaker person. A stronger man destroying a weaker person, to me, the way I see that. Not everything in this Bible resonates with me, folks. You know, this is why we have to be in prayer to the Supreme Spirit at all times. Asking Spirit of truth for guidance. The Spirit of discernment for guidance. If you're not going straight to the Spirit of truth, the living God, then you could be getting your wisdom from something other than the Supreme Creator, which also has wisdom and insight. People who flip them cards, those tarot cards, you know, they're sorcerers, they're sorceresses. Then the word of the Lord came to Samuel. I regret that I have made Saul king, because he has turned away from me and has not carried out my instructions. Samuel was angry, and he cried out to the Lord all that night. Early in the morning, Samuel got up and went to meet Saul. But he was told, Saul has gone to Carmel. There he has set up a monument in his own honor and has turned and gone on down to Gilgal. So he sets up a monument. Well, what's a monument, folks? It's a statue. What's a statue? It's an idol. So Saul built himself an idol. When Samuel reached him, Saul said, "The Lord bless you. I have carried out the Lord's instructions." No, he didn't. He carried out partial instructions of the Lord. And this is the problem with Israel, is they don't listen 100% to what is being told. Though I don't agree with any Lord that's telling us to go. What did the animals do? Why did all the animals have to be slaughtered? But Samuel said, what then is the bleating of sheep in my ears? What is this lowing of cattle that I hear? Saul answered, the soldiers brought them from the Amalekites. They spared the best of the sheep and cattle to sacrifice to the Lord your God, but we totally destroyed the rest. Yeah, but you didn't destroy them all. And I'll still never understand why a commandment is given to destroy all the animals. But, I don't think like God. I'm not God. I'm in a flesh suit. I think through the brain. Sometimes my brain gets in the way of the mind. The mind is the spirit. The brain is the flesh. Enough, Samuel said to Saul. Let me tell you what the Lord said to me last night. Tell me, Saul replied. Samuel said, although you were once small in your own eyes, did you not become the head of the tribe of Israel? The Lord anointed you king over Israel, and he sent you on a mission, saying, go and completely destroy those wicked people, the Amalekites. Wage war against them until you have wiped them out. Why did you not obey the Lord? Why did you pounce on the plunder and do evil in the eyes of the Lord? But I did obey the Lord, Saul said. I went on the mission the Lord assigned me. I completely destroyed the Amalekites and brought back Agag, their king. The soldiers took the sheep and cattle from the plunder, the best of what was devoted to God, in order to sacrifice them to the Lord your God at Gilgal. But that's not what the Lord asked him to do. But Samuel replied, does the Lord delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as much as he's obeying the Lord? A beautiful parable. This is in concordance with here Psalms 58. Not for your sacrifices do I rebuke you. Your burnt offerings are continually before me. Hosea 6:6. For I desire steadfast love and not sacrifice, the knowledge of God rather than burnt offerings. So, I don't know, man. It's just weird that we're in a sacrificing world, and Jesus tells you that he came to end the law. You have all these contradictions, and then you have one that says that he didn't come to abolish the law. So, discernment is needed. Did Jesus come to abolish the law, or did Jesus come to fulfill the law? For you will not delight in sacrifice, or will give it. You will not be pleased with a burnt offering. Psalms 4:6-8. In sacrifice and offerings you have not delighted, but you have given me an open ear. Burnt offerings and sin offerings you have not required. The Lord, the supreme creator, the Spirit, doesn't require burnt offerings or sin offerings. Then I said, behold, I have come into the scroll of the book. It is written of me, I delight to do your will. O my God, your laws is within my heart. And then you have Jesus, who's come to end the law. Romans 10:4 tells us, for Christ is the end of the law, to bring righteousness to everyone who believes. Well, the problem with Christ is that's Christos. Christos is 666. God of Israel is 666. Lord Yah is 666. All the gods of this, we live in a 666 system. So every God that I'm seeing in this Bible, that I've typed into this Bible, are not of the Supreme Spirit. They're something that are all used of the Supreme Spirit. To obey is better than sacrifice, and to heed is better than the fat of rams. For rebellion is like the sin of divination, and arrogance like the evil of adultery, because you have rejected the word of the Lord, Yahweh, God of Israel, 666. He has rejected you. God of Israel is 666. Yah's Lord is 666. Doesn't look too good. So we got to ask, who is the God of Israel? That he keeps the Gentile nations in Israel fighting one another, continually killing one another. If I love the Supreme Spirit, wouldn't I wear his spiritual shield? Wouldn't I be protected? Why would the Spirit make me a slave if all I wish to do is serve the Spirit of truth, if I want to return home to the Spirit, if I want to be one with the Spirit, I don't want to be one with mankind on this plane of existence. Neither should you. Because you have rejected the words of the Lord Yahweh, or Yah, who is Lord, he has rejected you as king. Then Saul said to Samuel, I have sinned. I have violated the Lord's commands and your instructions. I was afraid of the men, and so I gave in to them. Oh, so now he's blame shifting. He's the king. He's the one that's giving orders, not the men. Now I beg you, forgive me my sin, and come back with me, so that I may worship the Lord, Yahweh, Yahweh. But Samuel said to him, I will not go back with you. You have rejected the word of the Lord, and the Lord has rejected you as king over Israel. And Samuel turned to leave. Saul caught hold of the hem of his robe, and it tore. Samuel said to him, the Lord has torn the kingdom of Israel from you today, and has given it to the one of your neighbors, to one better than you. He who is the glory of Israel does not lie or change his mind, for he is not a human being that he should change his mind. Right? That's also in Exodus 23:19, that the Lord doesn't change. God is not a man that he should lie, or the son of man that he should change his mind. Saul replied, I have sinned, but please honor me before the elders of my people and before Israel. Come back with me so that I may worship the Lord your God. So Samuel went back with Saul, and Saul worshipped the Lord. Then Samuel said, bring me Agag, king of the Amalekites. Agag came to him in chains, and he thought, surely the bitterness of death is past. But Samuel said, as your sword has made women childless, so will your women be childless among women. And Samuel put Agag to death before the Lord of Gilgal. Then Samuel left for Ramah. But Saul went up to his home in Gibeah of Saul. Until the day Samuel died, he did not go to see Saul again, though Samuel mourned for him. And the Lord regretted that he had made Saul king over Israel. Well, hold on. The Lord regretted? If everything is to the glory of the supreme creator, and he is omnipotent force in all things he did, why would the Lord, the creator, the perpetual force that moves all things in place, regret anything that he has done? Something's washy about this. And I hope that you enjoyed the lesson. I'm going to keep it short. All praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit of Truth, the living one. This is White Raptor News Ministries.